I'm Robert Ajanda, and this is the Walking Podcast. So welcome to this today's story, which I think I would call Flavoured Simplicity. And it just occurred to me when I was having my lunch, which today is, and well, actually was, because I just finished it, very, very simple. Today in the morning I went to an organic shop and I bought a really, really good bread. And so, now I just had this bread. And usually in the past, I was always seeking for this really, really, proper sandwich. So, like, I had expected, having a good bread and then a solid spread of butter and cheese on top and cucumbers or capsicum on top, tomatoes. And so today was very simple in that contrast because I just had the dry bread. And I must say, it was beautiful. It was fresh. The bread was freshly baked today in the morning, and as you probably know, fresh bread is just incredibly tasty. But it also, not having anything on top of it, just made the bread so pure, and I could just purely focus and embrace the taste of this bread. And that made me think actually and reflect upon the last weeks of my life, of my my diet and the things I was eating. And I noticed that for many dishes I could have actually tried, and that's what I would be definitely doing for the future. I will try to make my diet more simple. So just to give you some examples that I had in mind now. A few days ago, together with friends, we made a flam cake. It's from the Alsatian, French region, traditional dish. It's a bit like a pizza, and similar to a pizza, you can decide yourself what you put on top. And I had just had the tendency always to put as many things on top of a pizza or a flam cake as possible. But now I will try to do the reverse, to keep it as simple as possible, to have just the purity of just a small selection of good flavors, instead of a melange of things, a mix of things that I can't even recognize anymore. Or as said with the bread, I would just try to eat more bread, just in its purity, either dry or maybe just with one extra spread. Let's say just bread with butter, or just bread and cheese, but then without butter. And now I just want to experiment, with that simplicity in my diet. Because clearly, it also has some advantages. I'm more aware of what I'm actually eating, because I'm not trying to mix up countless things that I just lose an overview of what I'm eating. Then secondly, it's also just simply cheaper. Having just dry bread and being satisfied with healthy, organic, dry bread, without butter, without cheese, without dairy, does actually make it more healthy. And then thirdly, from a, let's say, ecological or sustainable consumption perspective, skipping and not consuming, avoiding the consumption of all these processed food products, that are just basically essentially a mix of thousands and hundreds of ingredients that you've probably never heard of. If you look at the list of ingredients, you identify just probably maybe only salt and sugar, and the rest is just like, an unknown list of ingredients to you. And skipping these or voluntarily deciding to eat more simply will bring you closer to also avoiding to consume and purchase these very processed products, which are to the environment very unsustainable. So my name is Robert Ojanne. I'm signing off for this story of the Walking Podcast, which is called Flavoured Simplicity. I hope it gave you some inspiration, some thoughts to think about. I look forward to receive, your story, your feedback, your criticism. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Have a beautiful week, and enjoy changes in your diet. Embrace them if you got inspired, and just feel how it feels in your stomach. Goodbye.